Heroes and heroines of all ages. When the world tells you to get a life, you're always welcome at the One Up Block. My name is Dan the Man, your host, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Crash Bandicoot N.Sane Trilogy. When we last left off, we took out the first couple of easy levels, and we took out the first boss, which was relatively easy. And we also gained access to a new playable character in the form of Coco, who we are going to be playing as for the remainder of the game, because why not? Usually you can play as Crash, so now we're going to be playing as Coco, because, you know, she's not normally playable, and it's kind of cool that we get to do that. So without further ado, let's hop right in. As usual, those freaking loading screens take forever. So, from here on out, I think, number one, I gotta turn up my audio a little bit because I cannot for the life of me hear the game. But from here on out, I'm gonna be going for all the boxes as I can get them. Oh crud, I just reset the level. So note to self, do not, hit the select button, or the touchpad rather, whenever you're in the menu, because that will automatically make you go back to the home screen, or the islands. But, yeah. I'm gonna be going for every box in a level if I can get them, currently. But if I am not able to, 100% get them, I'm not gonna let it bother me, because some levels, like this one in particular, which is weird that I choose to talk about this right now, this level requires that we have the blue gem, which we do not have, and you're probably well aware of that, to get all of the boxes in the area. But, there is kind of a hard to get to bonus area here if you're not paying attention. As you've noticed, I've picked up a couple of scientist heads, which are Dr. Embryo, if you're not familiar with the game. And he takes us, collecting his heads takes us to some special levels. They're bonuses, basically, just like Tawna's. Once you collect all three of them, you open up a portal at some point in the level, and you're able to go and do them. I'm pretty sure I can collect every single embryo token the first time through, but I'm gonna have to do it again anyway. Oh, god dang it. There's a life up there if you can jump on that box, but I destroyed it on accident because I got myself an Aku mask. But that's fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, collecting all the embryo tokens will get you into a bonus stage, just like Tawna. His are a little more difficult than Tawna's, to be perfectly honest, but that's kind of the fun of them. You are still not penaltied for missing or losing his bonus rooms. They are harder, but you can still retry them just like Tawna's, so there's not really anything you should be worried about. But they are tougher. They require a little bit more dexterity with your fingers, if that's the way you want to go about this. And this would be the area where the blue gem would take us to collect some boxes, but we do not have the blue gem, unfortunately. But we did collect enough embryo tokens to go into the embryo room, so, you know, that sounded gross. We had enough tokens to go into the embryo room. That's a sentence I expected to say today. These are TNT, so you want to get the hell away from them as fast as possible, but we got a lot of lives, and fuck you, embryo. You big bitch. You ain't got shit against us. But yes, we are now back into the fray, back into our lives of breaking boxes, stomping on enemies. Feels good to be back. I've actually been incapacitated these past couple of days because of some tooth pain I've been going through. I had to get a tooth pulled. It was awful. I'm not gonna go into detail, just gonna leave you with that. But yeah, I'm back. I'm back, bitch. I forgot to shut up during the loading screen, but Hog Wild. And this is our first vehicle level in the history of Crash. They are the only vehicle levels in the original Crash games. If you've played 2 or 3, you'll know that the use of vehicles will get way worse as time goes on. But as far as Crash 1 goes, this is the only separate gameplay style that they have. I'm trying to think, but yeah, also Coco is not allowed to do this level. I guess they did not come up with animation specifically for Coco to ride the hog, so you do not get the pleasure of seeing that. But This level is significantly improved from the PS1 game as far as I'm concerned. I'm not sure if anybody else feels this. I've heard people say that it feels different, but I think it feels better because if you've noticed, there's been a couple of times where I've had to jump on some drums, and I think I'm gonna have to do it again later. But those drum hitboxes are really, really weird in the PlayStation 1 version. But yeah, look at that. First try, got the gem, baby. And we got it perfect. Da 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 da. If it sounds weird, like I'm pausing in the middle of some of these, like the transitions between level to the overworld, it's because I'm cutting out like huge chunks of loading screens that I'm sure that none of you want to see. So yeah, if it's weird of me going from a conversation to hopping into a level, you know why. But Native Forest, let's go. And Native Forest, we are in. So Native Forest is actually one of the levels that I'm not too fond of in the first game. It's what we call a wall level. There's a couple of them in the game, and mostly my hate comes from trying to get the gold relics, which is the time trials. They are kind of annoying, honestly. You have to be precise, and sometimes with this new game's, like, speedrunning the first Crash game is not very fun in general. So the fact that you have to do it for the gold relic is kind of butt. And you have to be super specific about a bunch of stuff. One wrong move and you're dead, and sometimes it doesn't feel like it's your fault. Like right there, like boom, that fire is kind of a easy kill on most people. A lot of new people that play, I see getting murdered by that a lot. Also, you got these shield guys that you have to jump onto. You have to jump over them to make them put the shield over their head so you can hop off of it. It acts like hopping on a box or something. Also, you saw that? Like, Coco almost slipped off of the platform. Like, stuff like that happens a lot in this port, too. I called it a port, but it's a remake. They did it from the ground up. It's one of the weird things about the HD trilogy. Blech, blech. But it's still the better way to play most of the games, I have to say. You have to hit the spin at the top of your jump here to get these boxes. And, yeah, hope you don't get merkled. Get this, and we should be able to go to our Tawna section. Bada boom, bada bing. More lives for Danny the Manny. But doink, but doink. Nothing up there anymore. Give me something good. Oh wow, that was a relatively simple. That's a relatively simple bonus stage. Not much there to work with, but you know, I'll take it. I'll take lives anywhere I can get them, because lives in a platformer are pretty essential, if I do say so myself. They are infinitely helpful. They keep you alive, because if you die, you can then use them. There was an Aku Aku mask there to the left. That's why I went there. You have to use turtles to reach these. I got a Aku Aku with it, so you probably are aware. But if you've noticed back here, one of the spikes is missing, so you can walk behind here and skip a lot of this bullshit. When I figured this out, the speedrun of this level became a little bit easier. Not much, though. Still kind of a pain in the butt. Mostly because, stuff like that. Like I said, whiffing stuff in this game is so easy, and I'm not exactly sure why it happens, but it happens. Happens a lot, actually. So expect those kinds of deaths as the game progressively gets harder. If you look in the background, you can actually see Cortex's castle, and that's either another island, the second island, or the part of this island. Gotta be careful here, because that's where I died last time, because I died right next to a checkpoint. Like, that's always the worst in these Crash games, is when you die right next to a checkpoint, and you're just like, really? Frickin' really? I was right there? Yep. Boink. Boink. Smack. Come on. Come on. Wow, that question block was like an extra life. That was weird. I think it's always an extra life, though. Also, these platforms are mossy. They actually make you slip, so you gotta be careful. But it's all about timing. You can make it across these 3 flames without using that trick that I just used, but I figured I'd show it off anyway because a lot of people miss it. But yeah, you have just enough time. I'm doing this wrong. You can spin right as you jump onto the platforms to spin them. But if you do that in time, you can make it across those 3 flames without getting hit, but it requires a little bit of extra timing that you probably really don't want to do. So just to be safe, go the way that I did. And we got that life. Bada boom. We couldn't even get all the boxes, so I don't even know why I bothered. Oh, I know why I bothered, because it's a freaking life. Duh, Dan. Come on. Don't be stupid. Poor Coco. I always hate watching her get hit by the boxes. I feel like a bad person. I keep talking during the loading screens. It's bad, but up the creek. So I figured I'd mention, if you're just watching this for the playthrough, you do not have to watch me collect all the gems. I'm going to get through the game, and then the endings are going to be in there. Like, number 1, if you're just watching the normal playthrough, you're going to see the ending anyway, like the normal ending, with the boss fight and everything. And then when I collect all the gems and have 100% and get that extra ending, that will be its own video, so you don't have to waste time watching me collect the colored gems and stuff if you don't really want to. That's just how I roll. I mean, I try to do things as efficiently as possible, so if you choose to not... Like, if you don't want to watch something, I'm not going to make you watch it by putting it in the middle of another crucial episode. I'm going to try and space it properly so it all works out for everyone. But, yeah, we have another creek level. I think this may be the last creek level. I don't recall. I don't really remember. I have terrible memory, but these monkeys are kind of buttholes because they kind of have a weird pattern that they go in. Like, they stop mid-platform, and they can throw you off. Don't spin them while they're rolling. If you spin a rolling monkey, you will get knocked on your butt. I think if we go down here, we can get a life. Yep, boy. Now I gotta make it back here. Ooh, check that out. I know what I'm doing. I think we can go back and get the clear gem here, the 100%. You're looking for the shadow here to wait for this lily pad to hop back up. If you try to hop backwards, you're gonna die. But this is the reason why we came here. Boink. And you do not have to wait for the bombs to explode like in the original game. You can just go ahead and jump and make your way through the rest of the level. Boy. Almost got tripped up there. I thought that was one of those other plants. Coco is best Bandicoot. Boyo. And there we go. Tana. Get another bonus stage, because everybody loves bonuses, right? Nobody turns down free lives on a platformer. It's unheard of. It's completely and utterly unheard of. This one's pretty hard too, because you kind of don't know where you are because of the way that Coco or Crash hops off of the screen. So just kind of whittle yourself over. You'll make it just fine. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't have to hold the jump button to extend your jump after bouncing off a box. It just makes it easier to pinpoint where you're gonna land. Not that you really needed me to tell you that, but, you know, I figured I'd say it anyway. Hoink. Badoink. Badoink. Free lives. I kind of wish they'd change the lives to Coco's head. Because they do have the head for her. Like when you're changing to Coco... Oh, we got the gem. When you're changing to Coco, you see the heads, but... like on the home, or the islands, the overworld. But they don't use it for her lives, which is, you know, kind of weird. Coco is also voiced by the voice actress that does Jimmy Neutron, FYI. Ripperoo, we have a boss fight, guys. Okey Dokey, so I did not practice this fight, and I actually kind of hate this fight. It's not that it's difficult to avoid Ripperoo in particular. It's more that trying to fight him is kind of an obnoxious chore. Because as you can probably see, what you have to do is time his jumps to where he will run into the TNT and explode and take damage. And I can never really find the pattern to do this. I'm always usually just a little short. Like right here, he's probably not going to get hit by that. Yeah, see, like, that's kind of dookie. Maybe if I jump on it as it's coming down, he will then have enough time to hop over to it and explode. Yep, there we go. So I think I may see what you're supposed to do. I think you're supposed to hit the box where he's going to be as it's coming into the area. So this is me figuring out this boss fight as I'm talking to you guys, basically. We'll see how this goes. Boink. And if that one doesn't work, I'm gonna try this one. That one looks like it's gonna hit him though. Yeah, okay. So I figured it out. Now I think for this one he's just going to go into a diamond pattern. Yeah, that's exactly what he's gonna do. With this one though, I think we can just time it to where he'll just be over here when he gets hit. Yeah, there we go. That was much easier than I was making it sound. Bye, Ripperoo. And we get our first colored gym level. Which, if I get it, I get it, but if not, I'm just gonna save it for the end. But yeah, the Lost City. Okey Dokey. Ooh, you know what? This level's actually pretty difficult to not die on in the first place. So, we'll see exactly how that works out for me. Knowing my luck, probably not well. It's also really hard to get around those boxes because you have to kind of like wiggle around them, and it's kind of annoying. But look at this, a bunch of freaking lives right off the bat. Not gonna complain, not gonna complain. Boink, badoink, badoink. Those bats indicate that there's going to be a swarm of bats that come flying at you, as you can clearly see. If you take out both bats, the bats will stop spawning, but at that point it doesn't really matter. For here, you're gonna notice that this is a bouncing box. Make sure that you jump off of it, because if you don't, you're gonna have to backtrack to make sure you don't miss this thing that's coming up, because as you can see here, there's a box, but if you don't jump off of that box, you will miss an exclamation box that makes this appear, and because of that, you will miss out on an embryo token, which you do need to collect all the boxes in the area. So, I mean, clearly that's why you need to pick that up, right? Your old pal Dan the Man wouldn't lie to you. There is a Aku up there, which I will try to get, but it's actually rather difficult, I think. Oh, I got it. Well, look at that. There was a life up there too, but I'm not gonna waste this Aku. You can make it up there if you jump at the right time. So, you know. Don't kill this guy. I need to get the fuck away. You do need him to get the embryo token, which is, you know, we need that. So I'm gonna let him get into place, and I'm gonna badoink. There was another life up there, and I missed it. I suck, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We've got better things to do, crud. With that jump, I don't know why that happened, but it did. Happens a lot, like I said. Boink. Woo! Look at that. Okay, this is actually kind of scary, because I think it's an insta-kill, but it might not be. Landing on that exclamation box is really difficult for me. I'm actually pretty lucky that I did it on my first shot. So get used to these moving platforms for these temple levels, because oh boy, they are something else. Okey doke. There's an annoying red guy that we don't really need to deal with, and if we come over here, we will find the last embryo token, which will take us to the embryo bonus stage. You cannot spin those guys, as you clearly just saw. They just bounce you off, which is really weird, and I hate those enemies. Because in a pinch, they can be the most annoying assholes ever. Just so you know, when you go into a bonus stage, they do not count... Well, that's fine, I'll die anyway. They do not count for messing up your gym. So, because I died in that special stage, I still have a chance to get the green gem in this level by breaking all the boxes, because bonus levels do not count as death. So you can retry these as many times as you'd like, and you're probably going to need to, because some of them are hard as balls. Like this one, this is a embryo token level, so of course you're probably expecting the level to be difficult. And I'm sitting here trying to explain it to you guys, which is ultimately throwing me off because I can't really concentrate, and I didn't practice any of this beforehand. I'm playing this not blind because I've played the game before, but I figured it would be funny if I didn't practice it, because it's just It's just a platformer, therefore, I know the basics of the game, and I should be able to put everything together as we play. So now that I got that thought out, let's hope Danny can get past this embryo stage without breaking a few controllers. You kind of just need to stand still and spin at the height of your jump to get rid of those. Get some lives. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. Made it. I didn't need to spin on that last go is what was my issue there. But I'm fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Avoid this guy because I no longer have an Aku. Actually, we could just jump on him like, oh shit. Or maybe not. These platforms are actually kind of annoying. They do spin when you jump on them, and they are pretty glitchy, so you can get unlucky. And they will, you know, mess you up. Boink. This part is always really nerve-wracking when you're trying to go for the color gem, which I currently am. Oh well. I hate those two. Like, a lot of platforms in this, in the remake, maybe even in the original, seem like they are out of sync sometimes, and that was one of those times where they seemed a bit out of sync. Because usually I can, like, go, like, 1, 2, 3, like, really quickly past this part with the moving platforms, but basically I just should have waited for the bats. Go, 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 go. Go, go, Speed Racer. Okay, so for this, you're waiting for all of them to be out. And then you can run. Badoop. Nice. Very nice. I'm basically showing you how to get all these boxes too, even though I missed my chance for the color gem, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, we're not doing that yet. Be careful here because hopping on those lizards can knock you into the bats and it will result in death, which is a no bueno. But we got that embryo token, baby. We got that Tawna token, baby. Oh, and this is one of the harder Tawna ones. Great. Alright, so let's see if I can do this. Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh, it's so hard. You just gotta kind of pay attention to when the bottom box breaks, and that's when you need to quickly move to the right. But it's still nerve-wracking nonetheless, but we did it. No hard feelings, no difficulties here, we're good. Everything's A-okay here in Dan the Man land. Boink, badoink, badoink. Not says I, mister. You are not there fooling me this day. You can wait for this guy to bounce if you would so choose. Get away scot-free. This guy, though, you need to be quick and jump on him so you can hit that exclamation box. But, yeah, I missed my chance, and this is actually pretty funny because we get to see what happens when you miss the color gem. You were nearly perfect, but you died, and she's all pouty. Oh, come on, Coco, don't be pouty at me. I'm sorry. And with that, we are at Temple Ruins, but, yeah. I think that's all the time we have for this episode because that's all the time we have. Obviously, a hero's work is never done. Join me again next time as we continue to tackle Crash N.Sane Trilogy, or Crash Bandicoot N.Sane Trilogy. Later days, everybody.